Welcome to this current affair topic. We will discuss the species under the news this time. So, Himalayan brown bear and the Indian peacock soft-shell turtle are in the news right now, as this soft-shell turtle, Indian peacock shaped, that if you see on the shell there is a mark of the peacock color. So it has been named as the Indian peacock soft-shell turtle. So it has been rescued from the Silchar fish market, and there has been a study carried out by the scientists in the Zoological Survey of India regarding this Himalayan brown bear respect to this in the hibernation patterns and all. So it is not endemic to India, and it has been separated on the greater Himalayan belt. So all these things we will see in this lecture. Moving ahead, I will request you to please go through this lecture till the end so that you will have a complete information regarding this topic. Further, I will request you to please subscribe this channel. This is a new channel, so I need your support. So this Himalayan brown bear, which is a carnivorous animal which goes in the hibernation in the winter, and it eats a lot in the summer season, and after that it will gain a weight and it will go in the hibernation in the winter season. And further, the color of the fur, as the fur will fall down in the month of May, June, and again it will regrow, and the color of that fur will become brown when it will go in the hibernation, that as it grows long and all, it will become a thick one. Okay, so it is found in the greater Himalayan regions of the India, that it is not endemic respect with the India, that it is found in the Jammu and Kashmir region, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and further it is found in the Pakistan, Tibet, and the Nepal region. Okay, so if you see in this map, this brown colored part will be where this Himalayan brown bears are found, and the 90% of the food is of this brown bear is herbivorous, like that is greenery one, but it is an omnivorous animal. Okay, so it resides on the top of the food chain, and it helps in maintaining the population of the other species by feeding on them. So the 90% of the diet of its food is the plant matters, and plus fish, rodents, insects, and all, it feeds on those animals also. And it has been listed under Schedule 1 of the India's Wildlife Protection Act of the 1972. So you have to be take care regarding the schedules present in our India's Wildlife Protection Act. So if you see in the animals mentioned under the Schedule 1 and 2, it should be protected, it can't be killed, and there is a heavy penalty on it. Okay, so the animals like tigers, Gangetic dolphin, these Himalayan brown bears are listed under the Schedule 1. Okay, so it can't be killed, and there is a heavy penalty on it. So similar offenses are for the Schedule 2 also, and the species which are listed under the Schedule 3 and the Schedule 4 are the protected one. So but the penalties on those animals listed under the Schedule 3 and Schedule 4 are very less, and the animals mentioned under the Schedule 5 which can be killed, which can be hunted down, are listed in the Schedule 5, and the species like the endemic plants and are listed on the Schedule 6 are prohibited from the cultivation and the plantation. Okay, so the Himalayan brown birds are not endemic to India. Endemic means that it is found in India, not only in India, it is found in the Nepal, Tibet, Pakistan, and all. Okay, so that's why it is not endemic with respect to India, and it is mentioned under Schedule 1. So it went under the hibernation during the winter season. So hibernation means this animal eats a lot in the summer and sleeps in the winter, and normally this hibernation of this animal starts from the October month. Okay, this hibernation starts from the October month, and Himalayan brown bears are at the top of the food chain. It means that it maintains the top and eat the lower organisms like the insects and all, and it maintains the populations of it by feeding on them. Okay, so it helps in maintaining the populations of the other species. So it is a subspecies of the brown bear and is known for the northern Afghanistan, northern Pakistan, northern India, West China, and the Nepal. That is found in those regions, and it is known in those regions. So it is mainly found across the remote part of the western Himalayas. In the remotest part of these western Himalayas, if you see this one, mainly in this part, here is also it is found there. Okay, so and it is one of the largest carnivorous highlands of the Himalayas, and they hibernate during the winter season. So what are the concerns regarding with the Himalayan brown bears? As per the study, there will be a massive decline of the 73% of the Himalayan brown bear habitat by the year 2050 due to climate change, and this is a relevant topic. That climate change, we have a Paris Deal agreement where we have a goal that to reduce the global climate up to the 2 degrees Celsius from the post, that is from the pre-industrialization phase, and up to we have to restrict up to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we have to restrict it 1.5 degrees Celsius, where India, all the countries, that G20 countries have came together and recite their goal, but it is not obligatory, but they have to, like, they have to follow that goal. So in similar, India has a goal to reduce the emissions of the carbon up to the 33 to 35% of the GDP, and right now we have achieved the 21%. Similarly, we have a other goal to use our 40% of the fuels should be based upon the renewable source of energy. It can be hydro related fuels, it can be sun rays, wind generated energies and all. So 40% fuel should be that renewable source of energy. It should not be from the fossil fuel based. And further, we have another target to create a carbon sink of 2.5 trillion to 3 trillion tons. 2.5 billion to 3 billion tons of carbon sink we have to produce. That is, afforestation should be done. So why we are worried so much about the climate? Because the temperature of the climate is increasing. So if you see the brown bears that goes in the hibernation in the winter season, if we do not control over the climate, their lifestyle will change. Ultimately, we end up on losing these animals, this brown bear related and brown bear types of animals. Even this Himalayan brown bears, we will lose them. So that's what it is mentioning, that as per the study, whatever as per the current climatic conditions, there is a massive decline of the Himalayan brown bear 73% habitat by the year 2050 if we are not going to control over the climate. So but even with respect to the current climatic condition, it has been observed that the 73% of the Himalayan brown bears population will be reduced by the 2050, and the elevation at which the brown bear is distributed most vulnerable to the climate change, as it is getting warmer faster than the elevation zones of the Himalayas. So the climates are increasing, the temperature that Himalayan belt should be there, it is not like that. So ultimately their lifestyle will be impacted, their hibernation pattern will be impacted, and ultimately we will end up in losing those animals. So apart from suitable habitats, even the biological corridors for the species would be impacted, which would negatively impact the genetic diversity of the species, and it has also predicted that a significant qualitative decline in the remaining habitat of the species with the protected areas of the landscape. Okay, so the temperature getting increased, that as per the climatic changes is increasing, it means that the hibernation pattern is getting disturbed. Okay, and ultimately entire food chain will be impacted, because it present on the top of the food chain, it helps in maintaining the balance of the other species population. Okay, so the entire food chain will be impacted. An ecological biological green corridor, it means it should be there, it means a clearly defined geographical space which is not recognized as protected area or the other effective area based conservation measure should be there, and that is governed and managed over the long term to conserve or restore effective ecological balance. So we have to build up this ecological, biological or the green corridor. Okay, so green corridor will be there, like let us suppose this is one forest and this is one forest. To move animal from one corridor to the another corridor, there will be one path will be there from where animal will travel, and here from a human will also travel. So here this corridor is used to be built so that human and animal interaction will be less. Okay, so such kind of corridor should be built so that protected areas should be there. And further, we have to control over the climate, because the main issue, the study that we conducted, it is the 73% of the Himalayan brown bears population will be reduced by the 2050. Exclusively it is constructed for the animal movement to not create man animal conflict. This one, this corridor that I have built, that let us suppose this is one corridor, this is another corridor, corridor 1, corridor 2, and there will be a path, a small path. So this ecological, biological or green corridor, this green corridor, this corridor from where animal will also pass and human will also pass, so this whole area will be covered, this whole area will be covered, and this small path will be constructed. So this is constructed so that animal will free from one corridor to another, so that the population of that particular animal will not be constituted into only one area, and ultimately that ecological balance will be maintained, that changes in the bodies or the populations of the different species will be maintained, that balance between the different species will be maintained from one corridor to the another corridor. So exclusively this is constructed for the animal movement to not create a man-animal conflict. This covered, and this path will be there where they will travel from one place to another, and such corridors are present throughout India so that animal could move freely from one forest to another. This help in maintaining the genetic diversity. Okay, let us suppose that another genes animal is present here, another gene animal is present here, so this animal can move from this forest to the another forest, and ultimately genetic diversity will be there. So what is the way forward? There is a need for adaptive spatial planning for the protected area network in the western Himalayas for conserving the Himalayan brown bears, and further we have to take care regarding the climatic conditions. So in that we can add our Paris Agreement deal, where we all the G20 countries are working to achieve our goals, where we have to restrict our climatic temperature for this century, globally temperature to this century restricted to only 2 degrees Celsius with the pre-industrialization phase, and it has to be restricted to the 1.5 degrees Celsius only. Okay, and this would involve more mapping of suitable habitat outside the existing of protected areas, and suitable areas should progressively be brought into the protected areas. If there is a Himalayan brown bears are there, then it should be come under the protected areas, and we have to protect it. Okay, now we will see Indian peacock soft-shell turtle. Recently it has been that it has been saved from the Silchar fish market. Okay, so what is in this news? What is this Indian peacock soft-shell turtle? We will see. So it is a species of turtle that is found in the South Asia, that is not only relevant with the India, it is found in the whole South Asia, and is listed on the IUCN Red List as a vulnerable species. Vulnerable species means high risk of endangered in the wild. So it is mainly found in India, Bangladesh and the Pakistan, and it is a widespread in the northern and the central part of the Indian subcontinent. So Indian subcontinent means what? India also, Pakistan also, all those regions, Bangladesh also. So it is present in that regions only, Indian subcontinent regions, and it is under high risk of endangered. That it is under the IUCN Red List, and it is heavily exploited for its meats and callipee, that the outer cartilaginous rim of shell. That is the whole, that is the shell that is present here, this one. Okay, so this is Indian peacock soft-shell turtle, and the biological name is the Nilsonia hurum. So I hope you have liked this video. Please like and subscribe. Your subscription is a form of payment for me. It is a new channel, so I need your support. If you have any doubts, if you want any feedback, if you want any on-demand video lecture, please feel free to ping on my Twitter handle. Thank you.